Hi. So we just wanted to say hi to everybody. In fact, do me a favor if you're listening live or if you're actually watching the replay, you could let me know where you're watching from in the comments. I'll pop up my comment window so I can see it there. Ken Edmonds here. This is my beautiful wife, Cheryl. She gets mad at me because sometimes I call her my prop, but she is the one that does all of the hard, difficult, challenging, embarrassing things in front of the camera sometimes. But we're on the Symphony of Seas. I thought I wanted to share with you and give you a chance to ask some questions. We have had an amazing week. We're going back into port in the morning. We just came in from the evening show. We've had the food has been good. Everything has been so nice on this cruise. So let me ask Cheryl, what was it that you've enjoyed most on the cruise?
I really liked the shows. I was amazed at the lighting and the backdrops on the shows. It's all digital. It's very nice. And then the food has been just wonderful. A lot of it and very tastefully arranged. Just amazing specialty restaurants on this cruise. And then the crew has been very, very helpful. If they see me trying to move my wheelchair or something, they'll just run over and ask it. They ask if you want help. And then if you say yes, they'll just push you where you need to go. And they usually don't just push you like a few feet. I mean, they'll push you where they, as far as they can. So it's been, um, it's been wonderful.
Hi, Pam. Nice to see you on here tonight. I'm glad you could make it. Um, and so for all the rest of you that pop in, I'll try to pop up and show you here. I was going to say the first of all, Cheryl and I wouldn't say we are foodies, but we do like good food. And we got the ultimate dining package, which was not cheap, but we have had some amazing meals. And of the ships, this class of ship is very definitely a class of ship that's worth getting the dining package on. There are a bunch of really nice restaurants on board. We got somebody else here. So, hi, Joyce. Nice to have you on here in the audience today as well. We just today was CocoCay, and for those who have never been to CocoCay, and maybe haven't sailed Royal Caribbean before, I can say this unequivocally: favorite private island. We've visited the private island for MSC, for NCL, both of NCLs, though the Great Stirrup Cay, we've never been able to get ashore because the weather has consistently not been good enough for us to do that. But we have had just an amazing time. This is our third trip to CocoCay since July, because we did two in July on the Adventure of the Seas. We just had one trip here on this one. I did a lot of videoing. We found I found some nice snorkeling. I actually got to see a really big stingray swim by, pretty good sized grouper, in the area, fairly close in to the beach. So that was interesting. But I would say I agree with Cheryl about the foods and the shows. We got to see the hairspray.
Yeah.
It was early on in the show. It was amazing. We've done the ice show at least once.
Yeah, once on the other one.
Yeah, so we did it once on the Adventure, once here. The ice show is amazing. Watching these professional skaters and the things that they're able to do, and very precisely and Okay, sorry about that. The ship is having some intermittent internet outages. We're back. Hopefully, some of you are still there. I apologize for the inconvenience, but we've had just what I would say as good a cruise as you could have. We had a little bit of rough weather, which is, as Cheryl was saying earlier, uh, prevented them from having the aqua shows because, I mean, the water was sloshing out of the pool that they would be diving in, and they're doing their synchronized swimming, and they couldn't do that. But like I said, it's been just been an amazing trip.
And then I think Pam asked about if you can do all of CocoCay in one day. I don't think so. I mean, you might be able to see it all in a day, but you wouldn't have time to enjoy it all if you did that. It's best to find out what's on there, by watching some of our videos and things and picking out what you want to do most and do that. And then if you get to go back a second time, do then your second favorite things. And some of it will depend on the weather. Like the balloon ride is only good if it's very still. They don't do the tethered balloon ride if it's windy. So that'll if it's windy, then that's not even an option for you that day. And then if you wanted the most elite place there is the CocoCay Beach Club, which is absolutely wonderful. And if you do that, then you might not really even want to do very much of the rest of the island unless you wanted to go down the 10-story slide or things like that. So like if you just want to be on the beach and have a fantastic meal in an exclusive place or have your own very private cabana in a private area, then you would do a cabana on the beach club, and you wouldn't really need to see the rest of the island. But if there's other activities you want to do, like the slides, or if you wanted to do the tethered balloon, or if you have children that want to go to the lagoon and play with the water things they have there for young children, then you might not want to do the beach club because of the price. It's worth it if you're going to be there all day. It may not be worth it if you're just there for a few hours. And then they do have cabanas on the beach on other parts of the island, which are about half the price as the ones on the beach in CocoCay. So that might be a better choice if you're not going to stay in CocoCay. The food on the island is more like fare you'd find maybe on a boardwalk, hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. It's not the really fancy things that you're going to get on the ship. So, you have to bear that in mind unless you go to the beach club, where then it's just like a specialty restaurant on the ship. So,
yeah, I was going to say that if you want to do a beach, the one thing that's good about CocoCay with mobility challenges is there's beach wheelchairs pretty much everywhere. We'll have a video of one that we got from a special needs group that is a little easier to maneuver than the ones on CocoCay, but at the same time, the ones on CocoCay are free. So it's just kind of depends on what you want to do.
Also, the one that special needs provided for us is better if you're short or if it's a child, because I have a 36 or 38-inch inseam, and this was low to the ground. So after I got in and out of it about 3 times, I was like, okay, that one, that's it for me with that one. The other one, it is easy to move. I used it kind of like a walker after a while because it was so hard to get in and out of. But the other taller ones that they have at CocoCay all the time are much easier to get in if you have someone who's very stiff or older like that. But they're also much harder to maneuver around. So you kind of maybe push them in their regular wheelchair as close as you can to where you want to go, get the beach rail over by there, and then put them in it. Yeah. But this one was easy to maneuver. It's lightweight. It went together really easily. It takes a lot of room in the cabin, whereas the ones at CocoCay are just waiting for you. And now this great thing about CocoCay is they realized that parents were taking the beach wheelchairs for children to use as beach strollers. So now they have beach strollers. So that leaves the beach wheelchairs for those who really need them.
Okay, Pam, I don't think you missed anything. We dropped off the air. The ship's having some internet connectivity issues. It's been coming and going. But Yeah, I want to say CocoCay is. They have great beaches. I mean, the sand is soft. The water is really clear. The exception to the water being really clear is where there's a lot of people swimming. It gets a little milky looking. Before they starts messing around in the water's crystal clear, but it's really fine sand, so it gets kicked up. After I snorkeled out past where the swimmers were, the water, like I said, it was incredibly clear. It's very nice. They have activities for people of all ages. For those of us that are older, you've got nice beaches, nice places to hang out. All of the beach chairs with umbrellas are free, so you don't have to worry about trying to find a place where you
where you can get in the shade.
Yeah, pop up the questions.
Yeah.
So that worked really well. We sat there for a while, and then Cheryl sat in the shade while I went and snorkeled. Like I said, it was pretty cool. I've done more snorkeling in the last couple of trips. Just click on it.
Oh, okay. I'll just repeat what we said about can you do an island in one day? No, that wouldn't be advisable because all you'd be doing is racing around and seeing it. And like we didn't get to go onto the island. It was after 10 before we were cleared to get onto the island. And then I think we left, about 4:30 or 5 something. But it's a big island. There's a lot to do. The best thing to do is figure out what you really want to do that first, and then see what you have time for. And I had explained that if you're looking for an elite, exclusive, quiet beach, then you would go to the beach club at CocoCay. That's you pay extra for it, but there's the food there is like a specialty restaurant on the ship. It's absolutely wonderful. They'll bring you your food to your either cabana or to your chair, wherever you're at. They just try to get out there. Oh, they have these bikes and they ride them out, bring you your food and your drinks. You don't even have to get out. They have a very nice pool there with a lift if you're handicapped. They have the beach cabanas and the over the water cabanas. Now they do have beach cabanas. If you don't want that exclusivity, or if you were only going to use that just for lunch, that's probably more money than you probably get your value out of. If you really want exclusivity, that's the way to go if you want to spend the day there. But if you want to spend a lot of time on the slides, they have the largest slide in the Caribbean there. If you want to, if you have young children that want to spend a lot of time playing in the lagoon where they have the children's water items, then you wouldn't want to. Then you probably wouldn't be worth the value of getting the CocoCay Beach Club area, because the other areas are all free and you can spend a lot of time there with your family if that's what you want to do.
So yeah, I would say it is really a beach experience. Cheryl, we talked briefly earlier about the food. There's 2 free buffets on the island, and again, it's hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos, Cuban sandwiches, stuff like that. They have a fair selection of salads and fruits, and they had fries for a side. And it was all it was fine. It's just nothing elegant. It's just, it was, typical burgers.
Yeah, like a typical boardwalk kind of food, and soft serve ice cream is available.
Yeah.
And some drinks.
They have, like I said, they probably have they have at least 3 beach areas that are open to everyone on the island. And it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. They have a little inland lagoon that is very shallow. It's very easy for families with small kids to get in and play in the water there. The Oasis Lagoon's the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean. It's amazing. It has 2 pool lifts. We got a video of Cheryl using one of them today.
It has a swim up bar.
Yeah. So
it has a little like a little walkway over to the swim up bar from one side to the other, but you can walk around it, and there's a ramp to get around it. You cannot go all the way around the lagoon in a wheelchair, or like close to it, because you get like 3/4 of the way and then you realize you have to go back around.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. They did a good job, from a mobility perspective of Yeah, okay, is there a place where a solo with a scooter would be okay? The whole island is very mobility friendly. There's a significant amount of paved paths, and what I'd say is if if you want to transfer to a beach wheelchair, if you want to go to the beach, just take your key with you, and it should be fine. We left Cheryl's wheelchair when we put her in the beach wheelchair. Just there was a building there we parked it by. I think that in general you're going to be very safe. We saw a lot of people on the islands with scooters of various sizes and shapes. In some ways, with the scooter, they have a accessible shuttle, or two or three of them actually, that go from the ship to the island. But sometimes with a scooter, we saw quite a few people that made it from the ship to the island before we could get on an accessible tram, because when you first come off the ship, the lines were pretty bad.
And not all the trams are accessible.
Yeah, not all the trams are accessible. But
and we didn't realize that we needed to get into a tram line. So once we wasted about 15 minutes trying to figure out where to get onto the tram. So just look for the line and get in the line right away.
But like I said, we've enjoyed the ship. The ship is very accessible. We haven't found anywhere that we wanted to go that you couldn't get to easily.
The sports bar on the boardwalk neighborhood, it looks like you can't get up into the bar with a wheelchair, because in the front there's steps, and then you go into the gaming arcade area, and then there's a small step there. It's real shallow to get up in there, but they said there's doors right behind it, and I saw some doors there. And I think there's a door and a ramp in the back where they can bring you through. But you just have to ask somebody, because that's like a crew area.
Yeah. Well, actually, there is a ramp. I found it that you can get up. And it was interesting. One of the restaurants is a 2-story restaurant. And to get us down to the seating area where our table was, they actually took us into the crew area, and we used a crew elevator to get down.
That was for Wonderland, because in Wonderland, you're falling down the rabbit hole. You're supposed to get on the steps. So we fell down the elevator.
Yes. There in Wonderland, and we'll have videos on all of these. Wonderland is a very whimsical experience. Think Alice in Wonderland, and it's quite an interesting place to eat. We enjoyed it. They have Onboard in the specialty restaurants. They have a steakhouse, an Italian restaurant. They have teppanyaki. They have sushi. They have
Italian. Like
I thought we said Italian, but anyway, they have Italian. They have
Wonderland,
and then the place we ate tonight is called 150 Central Park, and it's just kind of American cuisine. And I will say this. The only reason that I didn't eat all of our meals in the dining room is we wanted to review these restaurants. But no matter what you choose, the food has been really good. They have a really nice buffet. And one of the things I'll say in general is, again, even in the buffet and in the dining rooms, there is seating for people with challenges. So we never had trouble finding a seat. I did, and I've got video tours of all that will show.
And they always ask you, do you want to stay in your wheelchair, or do you want one of the dining room chairs? And so they, and then if you want to transfer over, then they will remove they'll put your wheelchair out of the way and fold it for you. So they always take very good care of you.
Okay. Pam says hers folds up. I'm looking at the comments over here on the side, but so we enjoyed St. Thomas. Was an accessible excursion in St. Thomas that took you around. You went up to the top of
Mountaintop.
Yeah, you went up to Mountaintop, which is a restaurant, a bar,
not a restaurant. It used to be a restaurant. Now it's a souvenir shop and a bar.
And you have a beautiful view of Megan's Bay. We'll have some video from that. But that tour was about 2 hours. It was kind of nice. We enjoyed it, but it was totally accessible. They had a lift for wheelchairs and scooters.
The bathroom there at Mountaintop is accessible.
Yeah. So that was nice. We went to St. Martin and we arranged a tour on our own there. And I wouldn't say it was accessible. It wasn't scooter friendly, for example. They put Cheryl's wheelchair up in the seat next to the driver, but it worked well. We got the tour itself was really good. We had a great time touring St. Martin.
You had to. It was with Bernard's Tours. It's because all the accessible tours were already full on the ship, and Bernard's Tours, they were very friendly, very nice, and you have to be able to walk up into a bus. You can step up into a bus, and it's kind of I have long legs, so it was okay for me. If you're short and you're gonna have to do this, you might need to bring like a little folding stool or something so you can step up in there. And then the other problem I had, I do okay, but it can be really difficult. The bathroom where they stop for an hour and you go to the beach for like an hour and a half at a place called Frenchie's, and the bathrooms there that are a little bit rustic and the toilets are a little bit low. But I was okay with it. But you could possibly have a problem with that depending on how well you can move.
Yeah. We went to the beach where the airplanes fly right over the top of you. Sad to say, me and the camera were on different pages, so yeah, I don't have a video.
Only two people on the whole bus got video because it's so bright out there. If you didn't have your sunglasses, you couldn't tell what the setting was on your camera.
Yeah. But anyway, we've had a really nice trip. The Symphony of the Seas right now is the largest ship in the world. It'll be surpassed by her sister, the Wonder, which is due in the U.S. in March. But you could spend 2 weeks on this ship probably and not do everything. It's got a carousel. We saw it. We didn't play with it. We only saw about half of the shows. It's just, like I said, it's been a great trip. We're going to try to make these a live event because this particular series of trips that were all rolled into one, we've been on the road 16 days now. We have been to Carnival Cruise. We've been to Key West. We're on the Symphony. So we're headed home tomorrow. But every Friday, we'll be talking about cruises and answering questions. Let me see if there's any other questions from anybody. Yeah. I'm sorry, Pam. I hate to make you jealous. And we've got, it's really interesting things. The stars kind of aligned right for us. And we're going to be on the Meraviglia in November. We're going to be on Princess. I forget now which ship in January. We're going to be on the Carnival Horizon in January. And I'm trying to get on the Wonder in March. So we'll have a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to try to do, when I'm on the ship, I'm going to try to do lives from the ship, assuming the internet's working. Just because it's a good chance for me to get answers if you have any questions. So if anybody's got any questions, do me a favor, post them in the chat. And if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it if you do so. It helps. I'm getting close to the magic 1,000 number. So I can still use a little help. So I appreciate that.
Oh, and then when we got to the pier to come here, they let this one person that works at the pier actually pushed me all the way up onto the ship. And they said they're trying to make it a more personalized experience where they don't, like, if someone's helping you, they try to help you all the way through your problem, not just do a little bit and then leave you with somebody else. And so I've had a very comfortable time here, and I felt like they were all looking out for me.
Yeah, like I said, the crew has been again stellar. I can't say enough about how, from the cabin attendants to the people in the theaters, and they've done a good job. I'll just talk briefly about COVID. They've done a very good job of enforcing the mask rule. If you're indoors and not in your cabin, or you're not sitting down eating and drinking, you need to have a mask on.
They'll give you a mask.
Yeah, they will give you a mask. My room steward was very polite, but he reminded me that I needed to get a mask before I left. The theater, they have a level in the theater for those that are all vaccinated, and then they have another level for those that are not. The main dining room, they have a vaccinated level and a non-vaccinated, for families that have like kids that aren't vaccinated. They do, some of the shows are vaccinated only for like the comedy clubs. Some of the bars are vaccinated only. So they do a really good job. I've never felt unsafe on the ship. The same thing with the shore excursions. They were really good about, you had to wear your mask, and Cheryl and I are old, and you have to worry about it a little bit. But like I said, I've never felt unsafe. Have you?
No, I feel safer on the ship than I do in my own neighborhood. We just stay at home when we go home.
Yeah, very much safer than we do when we go to the grocery store at home. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. We got to get ourselves finished putting stuff together and ready to head out early in the morning. I've got a bunch of new shorts that'll be up, little segments of our trips, and we will see everybody next Friday night. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.